Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. About 2 hours ago, David Ndii was at a televised live interview at Citizen, and he made some remarks that shocked very many Kenyans. Listening to David Ndii, he is admitting in broad daylight that government is wasting taxpayers' money on things that can be avoided. Listen to David Ndii before we continue.
Sources,
No.
time from
Government is extremely wasteful. There is not a single day that I'm not exasperated by not just how wasteful it is, but by how deliberate it is and how unbothered people are by
and independent institutions, control of budget, the Auditor General, investigative agencies are unable to rein in.
They are unable to.
On this wastage.
Totally. They are helpless.
David Ndii, as the chief economic advisor, if you have no answers for us, what are Kenyans to do?
No, that's the truth. You know, I don't sort of be inspired. But it's not just this government. Governments are very wasteful. But we do need to put in systems that try and get more value of more money. We probably could strengthen the Auditor General's office so it does a lot more value for money. Audits, automation. There's a lot of automation, particularly around procurement, that could help government be more cost-effective. Automation of procurement, part of IFMIS, has been on the cards for something like 10 years, for as long as I can remember. Somehow, it never happens.
Yes. That's David Ndii. And he's not mincing his words. He is making it very clear, straight and to the point. There is a lot of wastage in William Ruto's government. Whether William Ruto will heed to that advice or not, that's a different story. But from the look of things, William Ruto is coming out as a leader who is not advisable. And I'm saying that because listening to David Ndii speak during the interview, he was trying to insinuate that he has been giving such advice. So the question begs, why is it that we are still seeing a lot of wastage in the government? The answer is very simple and very clear. William Ruto is not just advisable. So the problem is Ruto himself. We are in the mess we are in because of William Samoei Ruto. He is not just advisable. And looking at the characters William Ruto has appointed in his government, I won't be wrong to conclude that David Ndii's lifespan in Ruto's government is short. David Ndii might just be counting his days in William Ruto's government, because I don't think William Ruto appreciates such sharp and brave minds like David Ndii. Ruto prefers leaders who are cheating him, the likes of Ndii, Rigathi Gachagua, Moses Kure Aisha Juma. Ruto prefers such leaders who will be telling him, you are not Serelak, we sio wa kuuziwa uoga. Those are the kind of leaders William Ruto appreciates. So as much as David Ndii might be talking the truth, I'm seeing a William Ruto who, instead of heeding this advice, he might be planning on how to remove David Ndii as the chair of his advisors. Those sentiments by David Ndii, I'm seeing a William Ruto who most definitely we'll try in finding a way of doing away with the David Ndii. In this video, I want us to dig deep into that story for Kenyans to understand what's happening in this government and what Kenyans should be prepared to deal with in the coming days. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's continue. Yes. In the coming months, the economic situation in Kenya is going to worsen. Things are moving from bad to worse, and they are moving to worst. So as time goes by, the situation is deteriorating. We have seen civil servants not being paid. In the coming few months, it will not only be the civil servants, but even the hospitals will be empty. We might find no doctors in some of these hospitals. There will be no teachers in our public schools. Kenyans should and must be prepared for such possibilities. Because I don't just think that a doctor will go to the hospital if he or she is not being paid. And it might also be possible that in the event even the police, the army, or the force are also not being paid in good time, we might see chaos in Kenya. Those are all possibilities Kenyans should and must be prepared to deal with in the coming days. And also Kenyans should be prepared to see a revolution against William Samoei Ruto. Some people are still seeing that as far-fetched, but I'm very sure that as the situation worsens, this government will most definitely impose more taxes on Kenyans. It will be one tax after tax. That will make Kenyans rebel against the government, because now the situation will be too much for the ordinary Kenyan to bear. And as all that happens, Kenyans should also prepare, or rather be prepared, to deal with a group of politically naive, ethnic sycophants who will be still supporting the government. As much as it will be very clear that the government has failed, there will be some ethnic sycophants still supporting that government. And I'm seeing a government that will now use a lot of resources in propaganda. We now see all of a sudden a government having so many political bloggers trying to divert attention. Those are things Kenyans should and must be prepared to deal with in the coming days and months. David Ndii, as I conclude, David Ndii is just exposing to Kenyans exactly what is happening in the government. Only that he cannot come out to be too raw. He can't be all that raw. But the situation in the government is terrible. It's terrible. This is a collapsing government. And it's just about a matter of time. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. Just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. To our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you, God bless Kenya. Any other person who wants to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number. David Ndii is God sent. He has just revealed to Kenyans what is going on in the government. The government is in a crisis. There is a lot of corruption, a lot of wastage, a lot of nepotism, tribalism in this government. Let's meet in our next analysis.